All right. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Jenny Lusby. I am the CEO and the founder of PÜRVii, and we are absolutely honored to have you guys joining us tonight for this live interview. I tell you, this is our very first time, you guys, to do this. We thought, you know what, let's mix it up tonight. Let's have some fun. We actually threw the slideshow out the window tonight. We don't want any boundaries, no walls, no limits. We're going to have some fun tonight. And I said, you know what, Dr. D, let's just do things different. Actually, he wanted to do this also. So what I love about you, Dr. D, it seems like we're always on the same page. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Always on the same page. So anyway, you guys, again, we are on a mission here at PÜRVii. We really are. My background is nursing. I've been a registered nurse since 1994. Don't want to show my age too much, but I have a passion, you guys, for helping people physically improve their health the natural way, but also I absolutely love this business. And so we're going to actually focus mainly tonight on the products. We want to focus on the PÜRSCAN app and the technology behind it. And so we couldn't have thought of any better person, you guys, to join us on this journey to be our Chief Medical Officer, Dr.Derrick DeSilva. And for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, let me do some justice here to Dr. D. By the way, he has so many credentials, way too many to even list on this call. We'd be here all night. But just for starters, he's actually been a practicing internist literally for over 35 years. He's actually still practicing medicine today out of New Jersey. He actually serves on the teaching faculty at the JFK Medical Center. My goodness, he's been a recipient of the Alan Mintz Award. This is like literally one of the most prestigious awards in medicine. He's actually also been a past president of the American Nutraceutical Association. And not only that, let's talk about a few other things. He's been a regular featured guest on CNN. He's been on ABC. He's been on Larry King Live. And I always have to throw this in, Dr. D. He was actually featured on the Housewives of New Jersey. How funny is that, you guys? But in all seriousness, we are just blessed. We are honored to have such an incredible, brilliant medical doctor. And by the way, he is world renowned, you guys. He is sought after. I mean, he's literally had royal families reaching out to him for help. And so we are just truly blessed, Dr. D, to have you as our Chief Medical Officer helping us formulate these products. And so I'm just going to jump right in. We want to know why, after 35 years of doing what you've been doing, you're coming into the last quarter of your career, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to team up with Tony and I and PÜRVii and do what we're doing?
Well, first of all, because the two of you are such beautiful souls, and you really are. And I'm not just saying that to say it. You really are. Whenever I get together with the two of you, I feel so special. I really do. And that makes any human being feel good. And I think that's a big thing. Today, Jenny, I was talking to somebody. They called me and they've been seeing all the social media posts and everything. And this lady asked me the same question. She said, why are you doing this? And she's been in network marketing and I've known her for years and years and years. And she said, tell me a little bit about your culture. She said, the culture within a company is what really drives the success. And you know what I said to her? I said, there's one word for our culture, and that's love and family. That's one word. Those are two words, love and family. That really is, and the blessings that we have. So I said, really, our culture is all about our family. And you and me, I feel very much so as a family. So you ask me why? It's because I also believe that this vehicle is one of the most powerful vehicles to change people's lives. Many moons ago, Jenny, and you participated in this, I said, nobody should be using microwaves. You don't have a microwave anymore. I said, be very careful with how much you drink. Be careful the type of liquids that you drink. And a lot of people are being more careful. So the ability to influence people's lives and improve their health is why I'm doing this. And I love you guys.
And we love you. And you know what, you guys, I mean, just, I've been in this industry for over 20 years and I've seen the ups and downs. We've seen it all. And, one thing that I've learned over the years is surround yourself with the right people, people that you trust, people with integrity, people that have opposite strengths that maybe you don't have. And so, Dr. D, you are all that and above for Tony and I. And we just really love your burning desire to help people. We'll go to an event, you guys, and he will literally stay there answering questions for sometimes an hour after the event's over. And you just blow me away with your patience and your desire to help people. It's just absolutely incredible. So with that, you guys, we are going to jump right in. And I have some questions for you, Dr. D. I know you're not going to really know what's coming. I think that's the best way to do this, but
give it to me. Shoot, go ahead.
For those of you that are tuning in, maybe you don't know about PÜRVii. By the way, this is a brand new company. We have only had our doors open for literally 4 weeks. We actually had our first pre-launch event on June 24th of 2023. So far, it's going absolutely amazing, but we just want to educate more people about technology. And so we actually have something called a PÜRSCAN app. And what this is an app that can help you know your vital signs literally in less than 30 seconds right from your cell phone. Anytime, anywhere, literally, you can know your vitals. And so, Dr. D, the first question that I have for you tonight is why? Why is that a big deal? Like you've been in medicine for over 35 years. Why do you think it's important that people should know what their numbers are?
I just wrote that here. Know your numbers. That is so important to know your numbers. High blood pressure is called a silent killer. Half of the people that have diabetes don't know that they have diabetes. People heart disease is still the #1 killer in this country today. Every 32 seconds, somebody has a heart attack, and 600,000 people die of heart disease every single year. Wow. What are your numbers? This is one of the big things. And look, this is a screening tool, Jenny. And we've said this from the beginning. This is a tool that you use that if you see every day that your blood pressure is a little bit higher than it should be, your blood sugar is a little bit higher than it should be, do something about it. Don't sit on your you-know-what and just say, oh, it's going to get better tomorrow. It isn't. So knowing what those numbers are, it's again, and I said this at our opening conference on June 24th, is I'm never going to forget that date. It's like your anniversary date, right? It's like your birth date. It's the day that we all gave birth to this baby. And it's June 24th, and I'll never forget that date. But it's like going down the highway, and the speed limit is 65 miles an hour. Your blood pressure should be, I'm using a number, 120/80. But if you don't know, you know what the speed limit is, but it's not registering on your car. You have no clue how fast you're going. You could be going too slow, or you could be going too fast. Wow. That's what this app is about. It's a registry. It is a screening tool to tell you where you are in your health and to act and react to it.
Wow. And you know what? That is so true, you guys. As a registered nurse, I cannot agree more with you, Dr. D, because most everyone, even if you ask nurses, if you ask doctors, these are medical people. They know the importance of knowing their blood pressure, knowing their blood sugar. And you know what? 9 or 10 out of 10 of them do not know their numbers on a daily basis. And the reason why I'm excited, personally, I'm passionate, Dr. D, because my older sister, she actually literally suffered from 13 strokes, you guys, in the last few years during COVID, had no idea. And I always wonder, what if she would have had something like this to know that her blood sugar was running a little high, her blood pressure was running a little high. And so you guys, we're on a mission. We want to educate people. We want to bring the tools, bring the technology to help people really have a window to their health. And again, Dr. D, I love what you said. This is not a diagnostic. This is a screening tool. We want to help people identify their trends and really know when the numbers are way out of bounds every day on a consistent basis. That's a problem, right?
Right. And that's the other word, the word that you just used, consistent. There are days that everybody has a bad day, right? I mean, you can have your pressure a little bit higher, your sugar may be a little bit higher. Okay. If you start to see this trend, that's when you have to react and respond. But if one day you see your blood pressure is 210 over 120, well, you need to do something that day, and you need to react and respond.
Yeah. And that's the other nice thing. That brings me to another point. Not only does this scan your vitals, you guys, anytime, any day, but it actually keeps your history. So you can actually look back at 1 week. If you want to know all your blood pressures for the last week or the last month, you can actually look at that and it'll tell you your highest blood pressure, your lowest, and also your weekly or monthly average, which is really nice because it gives you an idea of where you're running on a regular basis, which is awesome.
Right.
Now, Dr. D, I want to ask you another question. There's a lot of folks on here tonight that are new. This is kind of a breakthrough technology. This isn't something that you've seen, right? Mainstream as a medical doctor?
No, I mean, this is not, this is, we are probably about 2 to 3 years ahead of our time with this. You know, there are the crazy watches that people wear, which I don't agree with. I'm sorry. I think that they do more damage than good, quite honestly. But this is way beyond that. This uses 15 different measuring points on your face. It then emits a blue light, green light, and a red light. It gets sent through the phone, and artificial intelligence analyzes it, and it sends you back your result, your heart rate, your respiratory rate, your blood pressure, your heart rate variability, your blood sugar index, cholesterol, triglycerides, BMI, you know, risk indices. This is very new. But what's also unique, Jenny, is that when we saw this, when you and I saw this, and I have to give you credit for this, you're really the one that really said, we got to find better. We got to find better. We got to find better. I mean, how many people did we talk to? And we found the best. Yeah. And when we saw these parameters, what I said to myself was, this isn't enough. Not everybody knows what systolic blood pressure is. What does that top number mean? What does heart rate variability mean? Okay, so we now have a definition, but what else can we do about that? So that's where we customized this app, where we looked at what are some of the dietary changes that you can make to improve your numbers? What are some of the lifestyle changes that you can make to improve your numbers? And this is where the customization of this app really comes in, ladies and gentlemen. So we are not only giving you the numbers, but we're giving you some indices, and we're giving you diet and lifestyle recommendations as to what to do to improve the quality of the outcome.
I love it. And you know, I love what you just said, because you guys, there is nothing out there like this one. You might find something similar, but the chance of it having every one of these, parameters that we're actually giving you results for, but the fact that we have a world-renowned medical doctor customizing. I mean, we've spent hours, you guys, over 6.5 months customizing this app and building this to where you literally, it's like having your own personal health assistant, Dr. D, right in your phone. And so when you mentioned artificial intelligence, I think for some people that totally gives them a red flag. They're like, oh, no. You're not going to put my face into something that's AI. Do you mind speaking on that, Dr. D? Is this something people need to be concerned about? What kind of privacy is in place for folks that want to use this app?
This is completely HIPAA compliant, totally HIPAA compliant. And the only place that the data goes is to you, is to your phone, is to your results. We don't store it. We don't do anything with it. AI doesn't do anything with it. It's that simple. The other thing that I think we need to understand is the whole safety issue, Jenny, when we're doing the scan. Look, right. I have been very, very outspoken when it comes to carrying a phone on your body, having earbuds in your ears, putting this in your pocket where your heart is or where your breast is, putting it in your back pocket where you're irradiating your entire pelvis. I am very outspoken on that. And I'm also very outspoken on the idea of using a watch. That watch is constantly looking and searching and radiating your arm. What is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years? What's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years if you sticking these things in your ears every single day, these earbuds? This is a phone. You look at it for 30 seconds, you get a reading, and you put it down and you see your numbers. Period, end of story. You're not wearing it on your wrist. You're not doing any of this stuff. So the idea of you being afraid of looking at your phone when everybody in the world knows where you're going, where you're shopping, what you're looking at, come on, seriously?
Right.
We're not taking your data and selling it to you know who, all right? We are using this data, we're analyzing it, we're sending it back to you, and you're using it to improve the quality of your health. End of story.
And you know what's funny, Dr. DeSilva, did we not talk to some other technology companies that said that we could keep all the data and we could actually sell the data? And we're like, absolutely not. We want nothing to do with that. So we didn't want to do that, you guys. It was very important to Dr. D and Tony and I and our corporate team to make sure that we did not do that. So again, HIPAA compliant. I love it. By
the way, Jenny, that data, we could have gotten that data and we could have sold that data. You know who loves that data? Pharma. Pharma loves to see that data. They're all about data because then they can direct things towards you. So we said, absolutely not. We don't want anything to do with that. This is yours. This is yours to keep. And that's it.
Yeah. So it's only stored on your phone. So if you want to retrieve that data, guys, it comes into your phone. It stores into your phone only. It's not stored on the server. So very, very important. And then last but not least, and I want to switch gears here in just a moment, before we talk about technologies as far as supplements, Dr. D, I know you have formulated hundreds and hundreds of supplements over your 35-year career. What do you think about, this whole the accuracy? I think that's where I want to go with this, is like, why this technology? What is the accuracy? How does this replace blood pressure cuffs, all this other equipment that people have? What can they expect as far as accuracy, and what kind of studies are behind this?
We have 8 peer-reviewed studies that have looked at the data. It is highly accurate. This data has been published. There are 3 US patents on the technology. So it's there, it's out there. And somebody just asked about the app. I believe it was Gloria just asked about the app. Folks, we've been saying this for a really long time. This is so involved, and it is so unbelievably involved. We are working Jenny and Tony are working every single day to make this thing happen. And Jenny, maybe you can comment on that, because a lot of people have asked about that. But the whole issue here of the technology and the accuracy, it's the first thing that people ask me. I spoke to a medical doctor the other day, and she said to me, how accurate is this? I said, well, it's 8 published studies, and it's very highly accurate. By the way, if you do a blood pressure, or if you do a finger stick blood sugar, you have about a plus or minus 15% variability in that number. So if you look at the parameter, the upper end and the lower end, let's say that the blood sugar, the real number is 100. You could go between 115 and 85. That's a big space. Our technology is a little bit better than that. So it gives you a very precise number, and we give you a range. We're not giving you a number. We're not giving you an exact number. We're giving you a range, because that's the way this is done. It's a range of what it's looking at in your blood. And here's the other thing. Your blood pressure and blood sugar is never the same, literally from minute to minute, even every couple of seconds, it's not the same. Why? Because your body is a dynamic organism. It is not a static organism that just sits there. It's constantly moving, it's constantly changing. You have new thoughts, you have new processes going on. So when you see those variations, don't freak out about it. There are going to be changes. This is why you want you to do this twice a day and get that average.
I love it, Dr. D. And, you know, guys, keep in mind, this is a tool. Okay. We can't reiterate this enough. We are not diagnosing. We are not preventing. We are not treating or curing anything. What we are trying to do here is we want to raise everyone's conscious awareness. People are walking around and they have no idea what their numbers are, you guys. So really, at the end of the day, this is a screening tool. We really want to help people pick up on trends. We want you to realize that what you do does matter. You know, what you're eating matters. Your exercise matters. You know, stress. If you're under a lot of stress, you want to talk about having blood glucose levels through the roof, blood pressure through the roof. This is going to actually help you and your loved ones become more aware of what is causing your numbers to be the way they are. And so at the end of the day, that's what we're excited about, you guys. We are looking at this really as a loss leader. This is not a huge moneymaker for our company. I just want you guys to be clear that we have spent literally half a year developing this, creating it. But what we are excited about is this is a beautiful thing to help change people's lives. And then with that, Dr. D, unless you have anything else on the PURSCAN app, I'd love to shift gears if you don't mind. I'd love to talk about supplementation, because you guys, at the end of the day, and Dr. D, you're the best I know about Eastern medicine. You are trained in Western medicine, but you absolutely love Eastern medicine. You realize there is a time and place for Western medicine, of course, but you also realize that many of today's health problems really can be traced back to deficiencies in the body. And so with all the stuff you've done over the years, what kind of technologies have you worked with as far as like supplements? What kind of technologies have you used? What have you found to be, what's your favorite, I guess? Tell me a little bit about that, because I know you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, but you know, and I have it here in my library. One of these days, I'll pull those out. But I have product here from 30 years ago, the original bottles.
Wow.
The original bottles that I've saved. A lot of the products there's a lot of products here, but some of the originals that I've done is a liposome. 35, I think that 30 years ago, I introduced a product line with liposomes, and I was in love with liposomes back then, and I still am. Great delivery system. We've taken it to the next level. Liposomes 10 to the minus 6, 10 to the minus 7th, that's the size of the particle. We've gone from that to 10 to the minus 9th. They're so small, they're so effective, the absorption is so quick. I have to say that I really like the technology today, because the other thing, Jenny, is that when you put things in a liquid, and if the particle is too heavy, it precipitates, right? You get this film at the bottom of the bottle, at the bottom of the container. Right. The nanoparticles are so small that they are in suspension, and you never see anything at the bottom. Why? Because they stay in suspension. This is where the technology, and this is how this becomes such a wonderful, wonderful delivery system. Almost instant, immediate absorption when you put that in your mouth. And I want to say this, and I'm going to reiterate this more on Saturday when I do our product training. But one of the things, Jenny, that people are forgetting is put this in your mouth. If you're doing 2 squirts, 3 squirts, 4 squirts, whatever, in your mouth, hold it there. You have to hold it there for 20 to 30 seconds. Then most of it is going to get absorbed. And you can also take it and swish it in your mouth. The buccal mucosa, the mucous membranes in your mouth, on your tongue, in your entire mouth will absorb those nutrients just like that. So put it in your mouth, swish it around, and then leave it there for 20 to 30 seconds, and then you can swallow the rest.
I love it. And you know what? When you think about someone having like chest pain, what do they use? They use nitroglycerin, right? And it's nitro and it's under the tongue. So again, you think about bioavailability, you guys, at the end of the day, it's not what you're taking or how much. Some people tout the fact that their supplements have thousands and thousands of milligrams or whatever. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how much you're taking. It's how much is your body actually able to absorb and utilize. I mean, that's really what we're looking for. We want results, right? And
you are what you absorb, Jenny.
Exactly.
That's one thing that I've always said. You are what you absorb. It isn't the amount and the quantity.
I love that. And you know what, guys? So when Dr. DeSilva and Tony and I were looking to say, what supplements do we want to provide here? You guys, this wasn't just something we threw together overnight. We really thought about it with my years of being a registered nurse. Dr. D, you've been an internal medicine doctor for 35 years, and we've been in network marketing for 20 years. We're like, what do people need? You guys, the number one killer in the world still today is cardiovascular heart disease, right? And so we wanted to provide products that would target many of today's top health issues. Of course, we are not a drug. We are not claiming to cure, treat, prevent, or diagnose any disease whatsoever. However, I can tell you guys, there are so many botanicals, plants, herbs out there that have been put on this earth for a reason, for us to actually utilize those botanicals to actually help with our body to have its optimal health. And so, Dr. D, I would love, if you wouldn't mind, we started with a product called glucose. This has become a huge problem. You guys, worldwide, people are overweight. They're struggling with blood sugar issues. Dr. D, do you have any statistics? I know you talk about this all the time. What are some of the statistics when it comes to diabetes and people struggling with blood sugar issues?
Half of the people who have diabetes don't know it.
Wow.
Number two, it's the number one cause of blindness in this country. It is a risk factor for heart disease. It is the number one cause of renal dialysis. It is the main cause of loss of limbs, amputations. So this is one disease. Diabetes is one disease that I would never want to have.
Yeah.
It is devastating. It's insidious, and it's just a horrible thing that happens in the middle of the night and gets you into trouble.
Yeah. And so, and unfortunately, Dr. D, like you said, a lot of times people don't know. They're walking around with elevated blood sugar levels. And unfortunately, the first sign is typically they've lost some of their vision. They go to the eye doctor, right? And they go, oh my gosh, I can't hardly see. Well, that is an underlying issue. And so can you tell everyone a little bit about our glucose product? What makes it unique? What is in it? And what are the mechanisms of action? Like, I know you put a lot of different raw materials in there to target the blood sugar. Just maybe expand on that here for just a minute or two for everyone.
Right. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to help support normal, healthy blood sugar levels, right? We're not treating diabetes. We're not treating anything like that. We're trying to help you support normal, healthy blood sugar levels. What are the ingredients? We've got gymnasium sylvestre. We've got chromium picolinate. We've got a bitter melon. We've got benfotiamine, alpha lipoic acid. These are all nutrients. These are all botanicals and nutrients that work to improve blood sugar support. It will help you get to the next level when it comes to helping support these normal healthy levels. Every one of these has a different mechanism of action to help support normal healthy blood sugar levels. Some of them improve insulin sensitivity. Some of them make insulin work a little bit better. Some of them make the receptors work a little bit better. Some burn a little bit of carbs. So all of them working together to produce the end result, which is supporting normal healthy blood sugar levels.
I love it. And by the way, you guys, this company is brand new. We literally have been in business for less than a month, believe it or not. The stories that are already coming in, and again, we're not making any claims here, but I can tell you this product is absolutely helping people already. We've had people, sharing that they've noticed a less appetite. I think when you stabilize your blood sugar, by the way, you're not going to be ravenous. If you can keep your blood sugar at a steadier level, you're going to have less likelihood to be reaching for those carbs and sweets to help get that sugar where you want it. And so we're already hearing that, by the way, Dr. D.
Right. And, I have to tell you that Jackie uses this all the time. And one of the things that she says is, a lot of times after she has a meal, if it's too many carbs or too many sugars, you get that slump, right? She usually does 2 squirts, and she says it really supports that normal, that leveling out, if you will. Rochelle just made a comment while you were just speaking, Jenny, and what she said was, you don't have to be and have a blood sugar issue to use this product. Jackie doesn't have a blood sugar issue, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but she doesn't have a blood sugar issue. She uses it to help the carbohydrates, the way the carbohydrates work to help make all of this work better. So what did she say here? So true. I mean, it really is. It truly is something that works, and it helps people with their normalizing, helping support the sugar levels.
Wow. And we just had someone come on here, Dawn. I'm not sure who Dawn is, but Dawn, thank you for sharing that. She says, I've already lost some pounds since taking it. That's not the first time we've heard that. And by the way, Dr. D, when would you take glucose? Would you take it first thing in the morning before you eat, or would you take it with meals to help, bust some of those carbs out?
I think taking it with meals, I think that's the way to do it. If you're doing intermittent fasting and you don't eat in the morning, do it with lunch, do it with dinner, do it like that, but do it when you eat. But I like to have people take it with their meals twice a day.
I love that. So glucose, you guys, that is our first product in our lineup of instant vitality. I want to shift to the next product, Dr. D, Mood. We have a product called Mood, and this is all about helping you with your stress. And before we talk about the Mood product, Dr. D, can you share with everyone what kind of statistics are we looking at today as far as stress, depression, just all the different mental health issues going on in today's society?
The mental health issues are astronomical. Let me give you a clinical example here. In our hospital, we are a 350-bed hospital, Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
We have 5 floors. Out of the 5 floors, they are converting our hospital. They're taking 3 of the floors, and they're making them mental health floors. Now, for a hospital to do that is in a major metropolitan area and leaving 2.5-ish floors for ICU, CCU, med surg, orthopedics, I mean, do I need to give you statistics? Those are the statistics. When a hospital is converting 2 floors, 2.5 floors into a psych unit. Why?
Mm-hmm.
The statistics on people with neuropsychiatric problems are mounting, and they're monumental. Why? I really believe, Jenny, and you said this in the beginning, that it has to do with our diet, what we're eating, what we're not eating, the food not having the nutrients that it used to have in it. You'd have to eat 12 bowls of spinach today to equal the iron concentration of 1 bowl of spinach, folks, from the 1930s. Yeah. So where are we getting our nutrients from? We're not. Nobody's going out into the sun. Nobody's eating a balanced diet. How many people cook at home anymore? All of these factors come into play.
Yeah. Wow. And guys, you probably know this. You don't have to hear Dr. DeSilva tell you the statistics on what's going on. If you just look around, I mean, a lot of teenagers, there's so many young adolescents, our poor youth that's coming up right now. So many of them are depressed. Suicidal rates are through the roof. And again, we are not claiming to cure any of that. However, Dr. DeSilva has put together an incredible supplement to help support a healthy stress level. And so, Dr. D, if you wouldn't mind, maybe just take a minute or two and share with everyone tonight what is in that product, and why did we select those raw materials to help people?
Cordyceps mushrooms, lion's mane, and reishi. Those are the 3 mushrooms that are in there that have medicinal benefits and properties. I was watching a video last night on mushrooms, mm-hmm. and they were talking about the broad applications of mushrooms. By the way, mushrooms are related to humans closer than plants are, believe it or not. Wow. So there's a there's a definite connection between mushrooms and human beings. Those three mushrooms have a very unique ability to support brain calming, relaxation, etc. They also have other benefits. So there are secondary benefits to that. But what we also did was we added gamma aminobutyric acid, which is a brain nutrient, along with L-theanine, which is to help calm you down, to help relax you, to help you sleep. The one thing I will caution you with is this. This is one of those, and this is for all of the products, by the way, start low and go slow. Don't ever mix your prescription medicines. We got a call this weekend about this. Somebody took their prescription medicines and used the flow. Don't do that. You have to separate these things by about at least an hour. I say 2 hours. It's all right. So if you're using this, let's say you want to use it in the morning because you're stressed and you have things to do, fine, do 2 sprays. If you want to use it at night before you go to sleep, great, do 2, maybe 3. Don't do 8. That would be a problem. Hold it there and go slow as you go through this.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so also, you guys, in addition to what I would totally encourage all of you, take a few minutes, maybe sometime and look up the cordyceps, look up lion's mane, look up reishi, just look them up for your own due diligence and find out there are so many benefits. And also, they also are adaptogenic, meaning that they have the characteristic, Dr. D, if you want to expand on, what does that mean to be adaptogenic? Why is that important?
Adaptogens have three properties. Number 1, they normalize body function. Number 2, they're non-toxic. And number 3, they're fast-acting. Those are the characteristics. These adaptogens are plants, the botanicals. The reason they're called adaptogens is because they help your body adapt to the situation that you're in. This is why you can use the mood product at night to go to sleep. But if you take it in the morning, you think, well, won't I go to sleep in the morning? No, because in the morning, your body is not made to go to sleep. It will adapt to normalize your body function. And it has to do with circadian rhythms, with circadian patterns, and with cortisol. Cortisol is high in the morning, so you're not going to sleep if you use it. You're just going to relax. Cortisol is low in the evening. So if you use it in the evening, you're going to get sleepy and you'll be able to sleep with it.
That is awesome. And by the way, you guys, I'm getting so many amazing stories in the chat right now. My mood has improved. Oh, mood has improved my marriage. Not kidding, she says. My husband finally sleeps like a baby, and I'm assuming she does too now. And then another one says, I love mood. I'm getting into deep dream sleep. And if I wake up, I can go right back to sleep. This is amazing. Everyone's just going crazy here. Best sleep I've had in years. And by the way, this wasn't designed to be a sleep product. However, when you can calm down your stress and get that sympathetic nervous system to calm down, it's definitely going to help as a side benefit. Someone says it's helping with menopause. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep going. Dr. D, we have a lot of other amazing supplements. In addition to glucose, in addition to our mood product, we have a product called Flow. This one is all about blood flow. And so before we kind of share with them what's in this product, can you just tell everyone a little bit about maybe some of the statistics today? What is going on in the world of heart disease, cardiovascular?
As I said before, Jenny, it's the #1 killer in the US. 600,000 people die of heart disease every single year. We've had no improvement in those statistics at all over the past decades. If we look back, and this is just a little bit of an inside joke, I'm going to say that if we look back at the Framingham Heart Study, in fact, we drove through Framingham this past weekend to go to some car races that we were at, that actually Jackie's husband was driving at, called the IMSA races at Lime Rock. And we went through Framingham. And as I was driving through Framingham, I'm thinking, this is the home of where the Framingham Heart Study is what established the risk factors for heart disease. The study was started in 1917, and it is in its 3rd generation of looking at people and following people and the risk factors for heart disease. So we haven't made a dent in reducing the mortality from heart disease. Every 32 seconds, somebody has a heart attack. So it all comes down to blood flow. You remember about a decade ago, ED, erectile dysfunction, was just every commercial had to do with ED. Why? It has to do with blood flow. What does blood flow have to do with anything? Your brain is going to work better if your blood flow is there. Your heart's going to work better. Your kidneys are going to work better. Your liver is going to work better. You're not going to have tingling and numbness and arterial disease, if you will, if your blood's flowing. So it all has to do with flow. If you improve the flow, you're going to have better outcomes overall.
I love that. And so Dr. D, just really quickly, what is in our Flow product? I mean, if you can explain to everyone here in just a few minutes, what is in the product and why? Why did you pick those particular raw materials, and just help everybody understand why this is important? Because I think why I'm excited, Dr. D, is this does not discriminate, by the way. I don't care if you're 20 years old, 30, 40, 50, or 80 or 90, it does not discriminate. I mean, there's people literally suffering from heart attacks and even death at the age of 20, 30, and 40. So just share with everyone kind of what you put in this product and why.
And I think I just saw a comment that Jackie said that she uses it before she goes to her workout.
Yeah.
And this is really, if you look at workout formulations, Jenny, you're going to see like a pre-workout, right? What are you going to see? Why do they have those formulations? The reason they have those formulations is before you go to workout, what do you want? You want your blood to flow, right? You want to make sure that you have good blood flow. So that was the genesis of this whole thing and how this has started. But what's in there? Arginine, citrulline, norvaline, ornithine, beetroot extract. All of these things, again, they work together synergistically to improve the quality of blood flow. But how does it improve that? It works through the nitric oxide pathway. It works by increasing nitric oxide. It's not just citrulline and arginine. It's all of the other amino acids that are in there that work together to improve the quality of the nitric oxide, to improve the quality of the flow.
That is awesome. And I know beetroot extract, by the way, this is, I mean, I love beets. A lot of people don't like beets, but I'm telling you guys, beets have been known for many years to help with the same thing, right, Dr. D, with nitric oxide? Yeah.
Absolutely love beets. Absolutely love beets. And I can go through a whole mechanism of how they work. We don't need to do that. We'll do that some other time.
But also we added just a small amount, you guys, of niacin, which niacin helps also open up the little capillaries, right? Which is great for blood flow, circulation.
Little bit of vasodilation. And what happens is that and some folks, by the way, are very sensitive to that niacin flush. Okay. Don't be afraid of that. If you do get a niacin flush, it'll take a little bit. It will go away, and just sit and relax, take it easy. Believe it or not, it will go away. A niacin flush is what menopausal women go through all the time. It's called a hot flash. So guys, if you don't know what a hot flash is, if you've ever had a niacin flush, that's what these poor women go through. Imagine going through that 10, 15 times a day. There is no way that I would be able to tolerate that. It is unbelievable. So, and again, you're not going to start getting hot flashes. It's not what I'm saying, but I'm describing what that is. But it is really, really a beautiful product, and it will help people big time. Start slow, start low, go slow.
Right. And also, by the way, guys, this isn't for people that have major circulatory problems. I mean, this is like Dr. D said, this is a great pre-workout. Tony and I take it every day before we go to the gym. Again, this is just a great way to keep the blood flowing, get a great extra pump at the gym. We absolutely love this product. And by the way, we put a little peppermint in there. We're getting great great feedback, you guys. When you think of beets, it sounds absolutely horrible. We added just enough peppermint to create that nice peppermint aftertaste. It's actually really good. I love it. So anyway, guys, we're running out of time. I could just talk to you all night, Dr. D. Let's talk about vitamin D. Why is this so important? Again, you told me this many, many years ago, and I'll never forget. Tony and I were sitting in a seminar, a health and wellness symposium, and I'll never forget, you said something like 40% of all cancers could actually be traced back to a deficiency in vitamin D. Is that right? Or am I remembering that incorrectly?
You're right. You're right. You know, I hate using
this word
on this type in this type of a forum, but there's very good data to support the fact that people that have various forms of these pathologies, they have low vitamin D levels. You know, every single one of my patients that have had this have had low D levels. So I think, you know, vitamin D is so critical. You know, women that have there's a study that was reported in the European Journal of Cancer, 2005, 179 women in the control group, 179 women in the treatment group. What they found in this study was women who had a vitamin D level less than 50 have a 6-fold greater risk of developing breast disease. So that's all I need to say. And you know, again, Jenny, it comes down to you have to know your numbers.
That's great.
You've got to know your vitamin D level. You know, believe it or not, for as much time as you spend in the sun, your vitamin D level without taking supplementation could still be low. Yeah. I had a lady who came to see me from the Bahamas. In fact, a patient of somebody in our group that's part of PÜRVii. Who was a physician in the Bahamas, Kim. She sent her to me for an evaluation. I said, she lives in the Bahamas. She's as tan as you. You know what her vitamin D level was? 35.
Wow.
No. It was lower than 35. She was like 32.
Wow.
I was expecting her vitamin D level to be in the 60s and 70s at least, with all the sun she gets. But folks, you're putting sunblock on, you're wearing the SPF shirts, you're wearing the hats. There's all kinds of factors there. You've got to know your level. And this is where the vitamin D comes in.
Yeah, I love it. And by the way, Dr. D, you put D3 and K2 together. Can you help everyone understand why? A lot of people say, oh, yeah, I take vitamin D every day, but they're only taking vitamin D or D3. Why would you add K2 to this formulation?
Vitamin K2 is called menaquinone. It is not from green leafy vegetables. And what vitamin K2 does is that it directs calcium and vitamin D. It's the policeman at the crossroad that says, okay, you go over there, and okay, you go over here. Because if calcium went over here and it's supposed to go over here, that would be a problem. Or if vitamin D was supposed to go over here and it went over here, that would be a problem. So it's the gatekeeper directing calcium and vitamin D where to go. If you didn't have vitamin K2, calcium would arbitrarily deposit throughout the body. It would not go to bones. It would not rebuild bones. It would just deposit everywhere. And that's where the problems start. Because that was a study that was done that was reported in the British Medical Journal about 8 years ago that said calcium, not a good idea. What they forgot to say was calcium without vitamin K2 is not a good idea. That's why the vitamin K2 was put in there in the form of MK7.
So this is, you often refer to this as the sunshine vitamin. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And does this have anything to do with seasonal affective issues where people get like kind of depressed and sad in the winter? I know a lot of people get that way.
That's why I don't stay in New Jersey in the winter. Why would I stay in New Jersey in the winter when I can come to your house in Florida in the winter time, or go visit Jackie? You know, this is it is called the sunshine vitamin, and therefore, if it's called the sunshine vitamin, when does the sun shine? During the day. You should use this during the day. So don't take this at night before you go to sleep, because there's an effect, by the way, that this has on melatonin, right? You don't want this to suppress melatonin levels. You want it to work during the day when melatonin is at its lowest point.
Right.
Don't want that interaction between the two. So use the D3K2 in the morning during the day.
And so all 4 of these supplements are all nanotechnology, every one of the ones you've talked about so far. So guys, glucose, we have the mood product, we have the flow, we also have the D3K2. And let's close out this call, you guys, and hear about our probiotic. Why is this important, Dr. D? I mean, so many people hear about probiotics, they don't really understand the benefit and the value. In fact, I actually have an 8-month-old granddaughter that she was fussy nonstop, fussy, couldn't quit crying for the first week or so. And Dr. D says, is she on a probiotic? And I said, well, no, she was just born. Like, why would she need a probiotic? Dr. D, can you just kind of shed some light on the importance of a probiotic and why? Why do people need this?
Well, you know, from the first day of birth, you need a probiotic. And if you look at children that are born via C-section, where do babies get the good bacteria? They get the good bacteria through the birth canal, right? Children that are born via C-section have the highest incidence: colds, flus, upper respiratory tract infection, middle ear infection, asthma, infections, etc. Why? Because they don't get the good bacteria. Babies that are born via, through a normal birth canal, they get the mom's flora. But here's the caveat, Jenny. The caveat is that most moms don't have the right flora. So as a result, baby doesn't get the good stuff. This is why what I do with my patients, I have all of my patients that are like, my young patients, the 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds that are coming in, and they say to me, I'm going to be starting a family in a year, in 6 months or a year. I say, you got to come in and see me now, because I'm going to put you on a probiotic. I'm going to put you on vitamin D. I'm going to start you on your prenatals now. I'm going to start you on your omega-3s now. Our 3 grandchildren from the very first feeding was given a pediatric probiotic. We put the powder on mom's breast, and from the very first feeding, baby took it off. All 3 of my grandkids are still on it today. Everybody I know and love and care about is on a probiotic. That means all of you that are on this call, because I know and love all of you, you need to get on the probiotic. That's how critical this really is.
I love that, Dr. D. And, I am a nurse and I've been using probiotics for years. I always thought it was about how many CFUs, how many colony forming units, right, are in that product. Is that the important piece, or is it getting to the right destination, with this good bacteria? What's the overall thing that makes our probiotic a little different?
What makes our probiotic different, Jenny, is the capsule technology. The capsule is acid stable. It will not dissolve in the stomach, because if it opens up in the stomach, what's going to happen? Oh, you can't see me pointing to my stomach. You can't see me. If it opens up in your belly, what's going to happen is that those organisms in there are going to get destroyed, right? Because the stomach is very acidic. So the viability of the organisms of the capsule is going to dramatically decrease. By using this capsule technology, the viability, meaning how many of these organisms survive, goes up exponentially. So many more of those survive, and it opens up in the beginning part of the small intestine, which is where it starts to work and does the work it's supposed to do.
Wow. And I'm already getting so many results, you guys. People are getting some of their older kids on this, people that have had stomach issues, digestive issues. People are already noticing their stomachs are not as bloated, less issues like that. So Dr. D, we are really excited that you took the time out tonight to do this fun interview. I have an absolute blast with you. And by the way, you guys, we are just getting started. We are on an absolute mission here at PÜRVii. We are going to change so many lives, and it really all does start with education. And that's what I love about you, Dr. D. You really have a passion for educating people and really helping them know why, not just, hey, do this or do that, but this is why you want to do that. And so, Dr. D, if you just want to, let's just maybe wrap this up, in summary. do you want to just wrap this up and like kind of tell everybody why these 5 supplements that we chose?
Folks, the body's a unit. Every single one of these supplements works together. Very quick example. The probiotics work with flow. The probiotics work with your gut because your gut is a second brain. All of these supplements work together to improve the quality of your life. Using basic nutrients, ladies and gentlemen, is what you need to do. You need to make sure that you eat a good, healthy, balanced diet, because you're going to get fiber, you're going to get micronutrients, you're going to get other minerals through your foods. But these are supplements that will help you get to the next level. So do the basics, do the good things in life. Don't forget one good deed a day. Love everybody, care about everybody, and be the best you can be. And thank you, Jenny. And thank you to all of you for joining us tonight, and God bless.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. D. And I just want to close out to let all of you know, if you're watching this interview, maybe this is your first look at PÜRVii. I just want you to know we truly are on a mission to give hope. We want to provide a platform to inspire people, whether it be to maybe get in the best health of your life. Maybe you're just looking for purpose. You want to wake up every day feeling like you're alive and excited about life. We want to have fun, by the way. We love to have fun. We're going to be doing so many fun trips together as a family here at PÜRVii. And the other thing that I'm super passionate about is I love helping people with their time freedom. And so we just want to thank you again for joining us on tonight's live interview. I want to encourage you to get back. If you're looking at this for the first time, get back with the person that invited you on. Let them know what excited you most. We would absolutely love to have you join our PÜRVii family and maybe meet you guys even live at an event near soon. So Dr. D, thank you again so much. Thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys soon. Good night, everyone.